Great. Hi, you guys. So let's see. Hopefully, I can see myself a little bit better. There we go. Nightlight is on, off. Okay. Thank you, guys. Um, Today, I actually have a chance to uh, reflect and think about what is actually going on with me in my day, and just here we go. That's a lot better. I think I like that one a lot better. Um, and everything that is going on. Currently, put that up there a little bit because it's been really, really rough. There we go. I had it all the way down at the bottom, and it's very, very hard. So, um, currently, I have. Um, I just been very busy, and it felt like everything was very clustered. I also was feeling like an overwhelming pressure, and I just constantly have been in my scriptures, um, yeah, just been in my scriptures a lot, trying to get centered and focus on God and meditate on His Word. Because there have been a lot of obstacles that I've been dealing with, of course, with my mom, uh, the things in my everyday life that I have to deal with, and that is a lot. It really is a lot. Um, my dog is now having issues, intestinal issues, and I really do believe it's because of Starbucks. But we've been taking times out of it because people think because she's so little and she's so cute, but she's feisty. She's very and feisty, but they still think that she's so cute. They still want to give her sugar cups, and um, it's not really cool. Or they give her treats that have little extra bits of goodies that are not always good for her. I do try to wing her off and diet out some things and bland her diet so it can get a little bit better. But I've been having those issues. So that's why I've been trying to stay harder in my word. One thing I notice is that I barely can read a scripture. I barely can have those opportunities. So when that happens, I know that I'm about to come across something. It's literally an attack. It's a spiritual attack. Um, and I need to dive deeper. When you get into things like this, um, one more thing is cricket. Whatever. I ain't got time for that. You have to dive deep into your word, because those attacks are going to get deeper. New levels, new devils. I promise you. Excuse me. I promise you that is the truth. And I was at a point earlier, and I was asking God, like, why, God? Why am I going through this? Why is this happening? Why does it look like everyone around me? I did make a video about that too. And I was like, I felt like I was feeling like, am I feeling insecure? But I really had to talk to God about it. I really did feel a little out of it. I felt like I was not making progress, and I'm doing the things that God, it seemed like the more I'm doing the things that God is telling me, the more I'm getting pushed back to the side. I'm getting set back, and I'm getting, so I literally needed that confirmation of staying in the word. I also went on to YouTube, of course. I went to YouTube and started seeing people, it's a good thing. A lot of people use this platform for crazy things, but it is a magnificent tool because you see that you are not alone. Okay. And there were so many people explaining, oh my goodness, it's like in my gut. I feel so good about even saying that. I'm going to say that again, because if someone is hearing this and they need to, um, they're feeling like they're alone, you are not alone. What I found out is that there are so many people who are going through the same experiences that you are. And the reason why you're not seeing them is that um, a lot of people are not focused on that. It says straight and narrow is the gate, and few choose it. And not to, like I said, not to say that I'm perfect, not to say that I followed all of God's laws, but yeah, it's really, I noticed that it's really harder going through this process, and you see, I don't know, it felt like you don't see your life taking off, or your life, going the way that you think that it should. Um, but today gave me a lot of confirmation. Like God was letting me know earlier yesterday when I was looking at the videos that I'm not alone, but you will, like, he never lies. He never, ever lies. You just have to stay focused. Like, God wants you, when he makes things better, he makes it all better, not partial, but all of it, and um, you just have to be patient with that and understand that. I saw this video and it was like a cartoon, and it was these two guys, and they were very smart. And one guy was like this free spirited person, which I used to deem myself as sometimes. And the other person was not so much. And then he said that he wanted to go to school and do this other thing. Now, I'm not saying school is for everyone. Definitely not saying that. But there are some curricular, some things that you need to do, that you need to revamp and get more information on. The field that I'm in, I have no other choice but to go to school. And it behooves me to go to school continuously. Continuously. Like, even though sometimes I really don't like it, it requires that of me, and I'm willing to do it because I know the impact of it and how much it's going to help other people. So in the video, they were like, it was a cartoon, but they were talking about when they graduate what they were going to do, and how this other guy, he was like, he didn't have time for it. So the first like 10 years, the one guy, he was selling on, he was venturing out, traveling, doing a whole bunch of other things, and he had a lot of accolades. But the other guy, he was like, I guess the other guy was substitute teaching, because he wanted to do something and he wanted to create a formula for it was like a formula for something, like something in the research field. So that happened. He went, they went on his way, but the guy who was the researcher, he was like a teacher, a substitute teacher, and he was telling him, asking the other guy how was his life, and he was like, it was great. He had all these cars, he had all this, stuff, and it looked really great, and it really was, and he's like, gosh, I wish I had that, determination like you. Well, long story short, 40, 50 years later, the other guy is working at a shoe store as he's working at a shoe store. And the other guy who did all the research thing, he had finally figured his formula out, and he became well renowned for his research. It took a lot of time. It took, so. And the other guy was crying, and he's like, how did this happen? And I'm working at a shoe store and blah, blah, this. And the teacher was telling him, like, you both were talented. You just took your things the other way. Now, I'm not saying that always happens, because most of the time, well, yes, most of the time it does. But if they're really, really smart, I've had people who, graduated with my aunts and my uncles who were very, out there like that. And they ended up having very successful, very productive lives. And then there are some people who, study all the time, and they try to go for research, and they never get to that point. But what that video did show me is that we all have choices, and we have to make those choices, everyday decisions, very wisely, because it does make a difference on the outcome of your life. You need to have a goal. You need to have a plan. You need to have something, you need to be into that plan and not stray away from it, no matter what it looks like. A lot of people for me, the reason why I felt it was hard because I really wanted to do some of the things that all the other people that I was looking at doing. I wanted to go and be back in the magazines. I wanted to do those things, but I know what I'm creating now and what I'm doing now is going to have the sustainability to last me my entire lifetime versus a set period of time in my life. And that's something that I wanted to do. And not only that, it's going to help other people past my lifetime. So that's that's the reason why I'm going through this. I'm making the decisions to go through my process the way it is because I know it's going to help people past my lifetime. And that's what we're on here for. If you can only help people while you are living, then you did not create a meaningful life. Okay. And that doesn't require you to have a lot of money. It doesn't require you to have a lot of status or anything like that. You can see a grandmother have an impact towards their lifetime by how their grandchildren and their great grandchildren act, even if they never touch each other, because you're gonna see how their actions played out into their lives and how their actions replayed out into their children's and their family's life, and so on, and the generations. So that was something that I had the opportunity to reflect on looking at that video. And I was okay with it then. Sometimes you look at the pressure, it's like, oh my God, I want it now. I want something now and I deserve it now. And sometimes you kind of do sometimes deserve things now. Sometimes you don't get everything that you want, need, or deserve, but you still get it. You'll get it in due time if you faint not. If you just keep going. And when it does come, you can be okay whether it comes or not. You're not going to be shifted by it. A lot of people are going to be awed. In that cartoon, which I do voiceovers over. When in that cartoon, the people were so astounded. Most of the people were looking at the fast guy at the beginning, but at the end they were looking at the steady guy. And they were so in awe about his projects and things like that. And not to take away from the other guy either. I didn't like sometimes how they had the other guy, dealing with his crying and everything, because sometimes it's not always there. And some people know their seasons. Some people have the seasons in the beginning. I literally prayed to God, and it gives me another confirmation about that. Like, God hears your prayers. When I was 5, my grandmother and my grandfather used to tell us, like, we're going to have trials no matter what. There are going to be hard times no matter what. Like, don't let anyone else tell you that it should be all good. It should all feel good. We should all feel the same. Everything should be the same and everything should be fair, because life is not fair. Okay. Life is not fair. And I think a lot of people need to hear that in this generation and in this age, because we all think about equality and, things being, as far as things in our life, it needs to be fair. It needs to be fair. But the truth of the matter is life is not fair. If that was the case, then there would have never been, people degrading other people. Everybody would be on an even playing field at the same time in life. But it does not happen that way, and we need to be very conscious of it, whether you realize it or not. Life is not fair, and how to deal with it when it is not, how to play the game called life when things are not fair. That's just how it is, because if you are coming into this world and you're thinking that everything is going to be fair and it's going to be the same, and then you get that big slap in the face and you find out that it's not, then you're unprepared. How are you going to manage it? You're unprepared. When you go in the game knowing what it is, then you're able to navigate. You're able to navigate the tools and get to where you need to go and how to play it. You can't go. That's just like you playing a game of, oh my goodness, y'all, all these veggies I'm like trying to grow in this place. It's just like you are playing soccer, okay? And around the world, I know in Haiti they call that football. But well, all around the world they call it football. But if you come into the States and you're saying that you're playing football, and someone who's been playing football in another country is playing this game, and it's, we call it soccer and it's football, but they're thinking football is football, and they coming over here and they're playing football, they're gonna have a rude awakening. They're gonna have a rude awakening playing when they see the football is not the same size or the same shape, and they're running towards you instead of trying to get the ball, and it's not gonna happen. They're gonna tackle you. They're gonna no. When they don't see the goalie there and they see the goal up here instead of the goalie down this way, it's going to be an issue. So you want to understand that life is not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair. Okay. It can be balanced. It can be balanced, but fair. Life is not fair. Life is not fair. And history has shown us that life is not fair. History has shown us, that's one thing you can't, you can lie about history, but you can cover it up, but you can't really change it. The facts is there. So that was some of the things that I had some time to think about and to grow and to learn about that, and to let everyone have their journey, and to be grateful for my journey, because if I'm feeling sad about my journey, I'm not going to do it to the best of my ability. I'm not going to do it to the best, so I was like, you know what, I got to find some other things to be grateful for. I got to go, look outside, help other people more, even though I do it quite a bit, but I've been kind of slacking a little bit because I have to take my time to get some other projects set up and to help some people. But yeah, that was some of the things that I learned today. I definitely need to go to the dentist. My gums are turning very purple, and I have not been getting all my nutrients, and it's the winters. Not good. So yeah. What else did I do? I was supposed to have a photo shoot today, and that didn't happen because of the weather. So I think next week we're probably going to go indoors, which is cool, whatever. I also had some time to reflect on who am I letting in my life to make me to feel this way? Because sometimes it's not always you. It's the people. I'm telling you, the connections, they make a difference. They make a difference. They make a difference. They make a difference, y'all. So I had to think about it. I'm like, who and what have I connected to a little bit longer? And I saw some of the family ties that I had reconnected with. I saw some old friends that I reconnected with, some old advisors I reconnected with. And I just started, taking a brief inventory of what happened. How did I feel about when this person said this, when I, was talking to them? How did I feel about this, And I do write in a journal. Let me see. I advise everybody to write in a journal. Excuse me. Sorry, you guys. Okay. I do advise everyone to write in a journal. This is my journal. This one is saying it's easier. Let's see if I can do that way. Yeah. It's easier to be good if your clothes are fashionable. Yeah. So I really like this one because it's actually a storybook. On the pages, if you can see, well, you can see my writing. So let me look and see on the back. Okay, if you can see this, there are storylines on the page that literally is telling you the whole story. So they have these things at this place called Darlington, where I live at, and it's really really good. So every like Christmas, they have like this thing where you can buy like journals here for very cheap. They have like I bought some like yarn and stuff because I used to like finger knit and make hats and make scarves and all that. I've been already kind of creative anyway. It's a great outlet. But I got that because I journal a lot. So one of the gifts that people tend to give me are journals. Um, you can never go wrong with getting me a journal because I love to journal. So I like to record things and just, I don't know, you do things and then you're having a good time and then you reflect back and you're like, oh, you see some of the patterns, that were going on. So, yeah. So I keep my journal. I have, quite a bit of them. I do take some time to look at them. Some of them I kind of lost, but I wish I did have because I remember when you write quite a bit, sometimes God will bring it to your remembrance. Some of the things that you wrote years ago that you can't find in the journal because you read in the journal, you wrote it, and then I'll take like about a month later and reflect. What did I do a month from today? How was I feeling? Because sometimes you can see if it's something that is environmental versus something that you just really thought or just, am going through. Some of the emotions I even look at sometimes with me are not myself, but environmental. What is the world? What are people around you are feeling right now? What are they thinking? And if it's like that and I feel it over a matter of time, I do try to take some time off and go to a different place, go to a different region in my city, or go to another, I'll go to another region, y'all. I still have all this. I was trying to clean so I got a black thing on here, but I didn't notice it until I like turned around and saw it. But I was cleaning my shirt with charcoal, activated charcoal and baking soda. So yeah, it'll come off really quick, but whatever. So sometimes I have to, I'll go to a different region in the city, or I'll just leave the city or the state or sometimes the country, and recharge. You'll see some things. If you don't have the opportunity to go to a different country, that's okay. Sometimes you might need to go to a different environment. It might be because of population issues. It might be a lot of people transitioning to another population. It might be something that's just going on in that area. So when I look at this and I go and I record and I look underneath there, I'm able to see, for myself what is going on and what, it's just great. I even see some of my emotions that repeat around the same time. I was feeling very sad. Another thing I was feeling sad. I had a breakup. What was this, like 2 years ago? And we broke up. Well, I actually broke up. Well, he broke up with me like in October, but we didn't. It was an arrangement where we were still living together because everything was still connected. So just transitioning and getting everything off till Christmas. So when Christmas came, I got my things and I left. I literally just boom, got up, boom, got my things, and I kept going. And I do have, like, when I left, at first I felt like it was a breath of fresh air because I found out that we weren't going in the same direction, and it was both played on our parts how we mended for each other. But then as time went by, we started seeing that it wasn't the things that we had in common were not enough to sustain a relationship. And not only that, it brought a lot of heartbreak, a lot of just crazy stuff like degradation, a whole bunch of other stuff. But because of that, I was feeling, no, it's January. Yeah. So around this time, it was exactly around this time. This is where I was feeling melancholy. I was feeling very sad about it. I felt really great in December, but I was feeling definitely sad about it. And yeah, I was feeling just so sad. When I say so sad, I felt beyond sad. And I had to do a lot of things to get out of it, to get over it, to work at it. Not only that, there was a couple of things that happened with my, I think it was my job around this time. Yeah, it was, because it was like February. So I have to look at those things because some of those things played out. Last year, I had some issues with my job around that time. So I was like, is my performance? And I had to look back at my, activities. Did my performance go down? Did this, I look at everything like that. So I had some time to do that with the journal. I also look at that with my business, with the sales. I do have a business journal. I know a lot of people don't have that because they're like, how does your business have emotions? Well, your business doesn't have emotions, but how do you feel when you're conducting business during the day? Sometimes you'll see and you reflect and, oh, this person did this and I hit this and I felt this and I feel this way. And you, just like your regular life, you can record and see how you can be a better person as far as conducting business, and when to connect your life to the business and how to release it from. There is, yeah, you definitely need to learn that. You have to learn that. You really, really do, because if you put everything and all your emotions into that business, when you're not having a good day, that business is not having a good day, and it doesn't make good business for you or the client, because you're not going to make good money if you're not doing the best that you can, and your client is not bound to what you are going through. They're not in control of that, and they shouldn't have to deal with that. This is no. What else? Oh yeah, I was looking at my the people that I was around. Some of those I learned, like, okay, I can't get rid of them, because I, at one minute, I used to do that, like get rid, because they tell you that in all these self-help books, and I found out that that's not it. We are all imperfect. Life is imperfect, and we as humans have some things that are not always good to do or to say, or anything like that. There's just things, there really are. And being a person that has not been so great, in the past as well as the present, I understand that sometimes you just can't throw away everything, so, but what I do is, give it some time, give it some space. And that way, if something is supposed to blossom and to grow and to nourish things, you have to give it time. Just like a seed, you give it time to grow. Prune some things off. Some relationships I literally did have to cut off because there was no reconciliation. There was no way of growing. Neither party wanted to bend or to change it to, move in a different direction. So yeah, you have to part ways, but it doesn't have to be me, never was me. But some of those relationships, I literally just had to not all the way close the door, but just give it some space to grow, because I understand that now. There were a lot of times where I needed to just grow as an individual, not even as a woman. I had to grow as a woman and as an individual, and those are two separate things. I just had to grow. And a lot of people were willing to go through that process. Some people didn't understand what I was going through. And some people just didn't feel that way. Like, look, you should have had this. Some of the stuff that you're dealing with, you should have had this already completed, and I can't tolerate this. And because of that, I'm going to close that door. And that's okay. I cried. A lot of those relationships, I cried. Some of them, it was bad on my part because I didn't do what I needed to do, but I didn't understand it. And some of it I did understand it, but I was not willing to change it. So, yeah. But with time and with development, I ended up growing and I became better. I became better with myself. And the person that I am today is a lot grateful for that process, because even for the people who left, even though I wanted them to be there, they weren't supposed to be there, whether they were fantastic or not. There were some people who were in my life who were fantastic. And a lot of people don't want to say that when everybody's hating me, everybody's doing this, everybody's doing that, and I never had this. You're not taking a good look around. You're not taking a good look around, because when I was going through that and I felt that way, when I started taking a really good look around, I started seeing people who really did care for me. I started seeing really people who was really trying to give me information about jealous people and about certain people's, but I was not in tune with that. I was in tune with what I visualized something to be. And when I found out it wasn't, because I was in visualizing, I wasn't seeing things for what they were. When the veil was pulled off and the truth came out, I ended up being very, very hurt. So that's some of the things, like I said, with the whole growth thing about learning and developing and being constant in what you're doing, and not feeling bad and not feeling tired for standing for, for what is right. So yeah, you guys, those are some of the things that I have been reflecting on, and I'm learning, and that it's okay to take time. It's okay to process things. You're not running out of time when you're perfecting yourself. You're not running out of time when you are truly working on yourself. I sometimes I have to get that thing, that dealing with that perfectionism too. But I understand that it's a gift sometimes with that, because when things are flowing, they're going to flow. This is why people are like, oh, it looks like you've done things effortlessly. It's not that. It's just when I'm doing something, I'm going over it and over it. Like practice makes perfect. I'm going over and over and over and over and over to the point where I'm gonna make sure that it's the best that I can do at that moment, at that moment. So I want to give out quality and not, I do want to give out quantity, but I want to give out more quality than anything. So, and that's where the biggest deception lies for me, because it's like, dang, excuse me, you're seeing so much of everything else and you're not moving, and you're not, you're doing this and you've been doing this for years, and this person has only did this. And so reward, cast your cares upon him, because he knows what's best for you. Boom, 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 boom. So, what else? Guys, I tried to make this lipstick, and I know it's a lot of factories and things out there, but just really wanted to see if I still could do a red. So, yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, so definitely try. I think that is about it. Right now, I'm going to take this lipstick off and these eyebrows off, because I probably have a little bit of eyebrows. One thing I did notice is that my hair is growing back. I know you can't see a lot, but I'm still grateful. And I did celebrate. I did celebrate eating eating a whole bunch of food that I really like. I didn't get to eat a lot of it, but I still really liked it. And I was really, really happy. So that was about it. That was about it for that one. I really don't have much else to say, other than hopefully what I said has helped you on this journey. Hopefully something I said or done will help you on your journey. Please stay tuned to Journey to Jerusalem. Thanks. Bye.